Happy Friday, TGIF. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a while. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sierra Sullivan. I'm the curator of the Pussy Collective. I am a Pussy Oracle. I help women reclaim our sacred portals of life through sacred rituals and temples and a whole lot of other things. You can check me out at secretsoftheyoniverse.com if you want to learn more about me. But I've been feeling into this topic for a while, and I wanted to share my thoughts about it because I think many of you probably have your own thoughts about it. And that topic is pubic hair. Yes, pubic hair. Lately, I've noticed, well, let me see. I found that there's this great meme, actually, and if I can find it, I will post it. But it showed like the history of pubic hair from like super bushy and then to like bald to then stripes to then this to then that, and it seems like there's a whole lot of energy that goes into the grooming and the experience of pubic hair. And I'm going to share a personal story with you because I'm sort of somewhere in the middle. For many years back when I was single and dating, I thought it was really fun to wax my pussy and to leave a little strip but have mostly no hair. I am a pretty hairless woman to begin with, but after a while that just got very expensive. And it's any of you that have had waxing, for the most part, I mean, there are certain types of waxing that are less painful, but it's not a pleasurable process, and I'm really into pleasure. And so after a while, I was like, screw it. I don't want to spend the money, I don't want to spend the time, and I don't want to spend the energy and go through all that pain to wax my pubic hairs. So I stopped doing it, and I'd go pretty much on natural, but you know, I would trim it up a little bit because I had a friend that trimmed it up, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, trim it up. And then when I got in a relationship with my current husband, we've been together for a long time, he would inspire and encourage me to every once in a while wax my pussy. And so for a while I would do that as a treat for him, and it'd be really fun because it would be like a whole new pussy for him. Went from like having a lot of hair to having no hair. And then I don't know what shifted for him, but he recently decided that he wants full bush. And this is probably the first time I've had the biggest issue around my pubic hair than I have in my entire life, because now that I have had, and prior to that, I pretty much just been trimming it down and just keeping it low, because I find that it just annoys me, and I find myself kind of like tugging at it when I get out of the shower, or I'm just like, what is all this hair? It's too much hair. And again, being a pretty hairless woman, like I don't like having a lot of hair, but there's, you know, tends to be a little bushy down there. Not super bushy, but it grows, and it has a little, you can grab onto it. And so recently he said, can you please grow out my bush for him? And I'm having such a hard time because I feel like I have bought hook, line, and sinker into the belief that less is more when it comes to pubic hair. Now, cut to, for my professional work and my gift in the world, I often tell women who come for a Pussy Oracle reading that it's really important. It doesn't matter how they want to keep their hair any other time. Like, I have no judgment of anybody else. But when I do a reading for a woman, that it's important to have as much hair as possible, because the hair provides a lot of really interesting information, because there's a lot of cool patterns in the hair and symbology that comes through the hair. And so having your hair as fully grown out as possible for the reading is helpful. I mean, if you don't have it, it's fine. You just won't get as much information. But when you do have the hair for a reading, you'll get a lot more information because of all the possibilities of what the hair, the shape and the texture and the design of the hair can provide for a Pussy Oracle reading. But I'm now having, so like, again, I'm all for like, that's great. But again, as far as like how you want to offer yourself to the world, or how you just want to groom yourself, do however you want. Like, I have no say or issue or anything with any of that, except for in myself. So since I've been requested by my husband for the last several months to have all natural pubic hair, I've just noticed where I've still really bought into the belief that less is more, as I just said. So it's been a fascinating journey, because here I am, my whole entire adult life has been dedicated to empowering women to love our bodies and accept ourselves. And this is a place where I'm noticing where I have bought into the culture of groomed pubic hair being sexier or nicer to look at, or that really what I'm, funny enough, I'm just going to out myself. What I feel most concerned about is that other women will judge me for having a full bush and think that I'm less of a something or something. But then on the other hand, I think if women know the work that I do and they see that I have a full bush, they'll be appreciative and grateful. And so I'm noticing just like where I want to show up and be a certain way for other people's opinion. And yet my own version, like I would be much happier if I could just trim it down. Like I don't need it bushy. I'm happy to have the hair, but I don't need it to be bushy. And my husband really wants it to be bushy. Like he loves the way it feels on his nose when he's down there, and he just loves the way it looks and the way it feels right now. And he's just super jazzed about it. And so I thought, well, this is a hilarious thing to talk about, because here in the Pussy Collective, it's all about pussy empowerment. Pubic hair is part of the deal. And I thought it'd be an interesting conversation to have. And I'd love to know, what do you prefer? What are your beliefs? Because sometimes maybe we think it's a preference, and really it comes from an ingrained society, beauty standard pressure that has us do what we do. And I'd love to unearth that and open up a dialogue below here for any of you watching this video about what does that mean, and where can we free ourselves? Because again, it's one thing if it feels more comfortable, if it feels more, I don't know, hygienic. But then we're designed this way for a reason. And so there's something to the design. I want to like really honor the design. And, it's an inquiry. So like I said, pubic hair, for me, it's a love-hate relationship. It's something I feel like I have to deal with often because obviously it grows. And in my personal preference, I feel yummier, I think, when it's trimmed. And I feel funkier when it's bushy. And so, but again, it may just be me buying into that it's less pretty, or that somebody's going to think less of me because it's not as trimmed up. Let me see, what else do I have to say about this? And I think for us as women, can we look at what has been ingrained versus what we actually have a preference for, and where do we know the difference? Like what is the difference here? So yeah, I'm curious, ladies, like what is your journey with your pubic hair? A while back, we posted that question several months ago or more, but I thought it was worthwhile doing a Facebook Live about, because there's something really, again, from the perspective of the Pussy Oracle, pubic hair is really important. It has so much information. From perspective of my husband and a few other women's husbands that I've talked to, it's yummy for them to have the pubic hair. And then perspective from my husband several years ago, he really loved having no hair. So, I mean, I guess it's sort of what's in the moment. And so I guess the questions I have for you are, 1, how do you prefer to wear your pubic hair? 2, what do you actually believe about that? Do you believe that it's in some way more fashionable, more sexy? Do you not care? I'd love to just hear your thoughts, and let's get a dialogue going about pubic hair. All right, sisters, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. Looks like we had one woman, Lucy. Hi, Lucy, joining me live. And tune in. If this is a fun conversation, then the potentiality is maybe once a week on Fridays where we can enter into all sorts of fun, juicy, pussy dialogue from here on out. So let me know. Love to hear your thoughts. Looking forward to conversing with you. And stay tuned for more pussy fun in the Pussy Collective. Lots of love. Have a happy Friday.